All right, are we live? I can't tell. I got some ace footage of the Kiwi farmers leaving. It was hilarious. There was maximum 8 of them total. I was actually walking up and down the hallway waiting for it to start. And I turned my back, and there was Nick Rekieta. Gave him a big handshake, big hug. Mrs. Rekieta, who I sat next to in court in the front row, actually, gave him another hug and handshake on the way out. From my reading of what happened, and I hope I didn't drop the other note. I just wrote on one page. Okay, it's back in front. I don't know if anybody can hear me though. Am I on Rumble right now? We'll wait and see. I can't tell what I'm live on. You have to comment on Rumble. So I didn't have it set up for very long. But I should be live on Rumble and YouTube, I think. Let me see. Power chat's on. That's on. Okay, now there's chat. Chat wasn't on at first. Okay, now say something in chat. And tell me if it works. I'll be able to see it. Oh, also, sorry. I have my hand in front of the fucking camera. But I can't actually tell. Okay, there we go. So it's working. And I have some notes here. They were taking notes too, but I'm sure they're subpar. So they didn't have a hearing on whether the trial should be televised. I guess that'll happen at another point. I'm not sure. One definite Kiwi farmer, 325 pounds, long-ass beard, completely unkempt. There was another tranny there who was wearing a tweed jacket who was taking notes like they were Hunter S. Thompson, which I thought was pretty funny. Anybody with a notepad there was there on behalf of Kiwi Farms. There's no other reason. Maybe one local reporter, you could say, but it was a strange bunch, so I don't think any local reporters were there. One black guy who definitely acknowledged himself as a Kiwi farmer, because I said, tell Josh what's up. When he was leaving, he said, tell Nick Fuentes what was up, which I thought was strange. But he identified himself as a Kiwi farmer with that. He played it cool up until that very point when I yelled at him when he left. Couple more, maybe like, I don't know, 6 or 7 possible. There were 19 people in the gallery with me and the deputies in the gallery part, and then Rekieta's people came in. Mrs. Rekieta sat right next to me, actually, in the front row. And so I guess there was maybe like, I was told that it would hold 30 people, but I don't really think so. I don't think that motherfucker will hold 30 people, but yeah, I was seated in the front row right next to Miss Rekieta. She was very nice, and it was good to see her. One normal looking guy of the whole Kiwi bunch. Blue long sleeve, khakis, nice shoes. I'm still thinking he was a plant, but he looked the least like a plant, I guess you could say. Walking the hall. I was walking the hall the whole time, intimidating these Kiwi farm freaks. So I was walking past them the whole time, and then when I walked down to the inn and turned around, Nick Rekieta was standing behind me, along with his wife, and I shook hands, gave him a hug, gave his wife a hug, and so it was about 45 minutes before the thing started, and then another 15 once we got into the courtroom. And so the tranny seemed really concerned with taking notes on me, so we'll probably see a huge effort post from them on Kiwi Farms pretty fast, I'd have to say. Ugly fat bitch in horizontal black stripes with teal sleeves, furiously taking notes. This is still when we're outside the court, by the way. Fat guy with pen in his mouth, shaking as he puts his pad in his pocket. I noticed that his hands were shaking as he put his pad in his pocket. Rekieta, gray suit, purple tie, looking dapper. Mrs. Rekieta had a nice, demure blouse on, long sleeve. I don't know what you call that, camisole or something on top of it. A little lace at the end, but nothing, too racy or anything like that. I thought she was very demure. and what she was wearing. And of course, she ended up sitting next to me. This is me taking notes beforehand, even. But let's see, I'm looking. So Rekieta and I believe Nick's mom or her mom, one, were sitting right next to me in the front row. I think she said it was Nick's mom, actually, but that will have to be, he can go over that. But that's what I heard earlier on. So they were sitting right next to me, and the whole rest of the gallery were filled with Kiwi Farms freaks. So it was me, Mrs. Rekieta, Nick's mom is who she said, is what I heard. Maybe it's her mom, one of them's moms. Were sitting right next to me. So it was the mom, Mrs. Rekieta, me, front three in the front row. So let's go through the actual trial. Let's see. Motion to suppress filed on Sunday. Motion to suppress the search warrant was filed on Sunday by Nick Rekieta's lawyer. He said both legs Detective Pomplin has based his motion on were faulty. Warrant based on hearsay from a reporting official that CPS initially rejected this report. CPS, the report from the church, the pastor. CPS had originally said there was nothing there, and they dismissed that report. Well, one of the legs of his warrant is based on a report that was dismissed by CPS beforehand. So that was one of his challenges there. Two, based on Aaron Emholt as a concerned citizen. And the lawyer pointed out that Aaron Emholt's not a concerned citizen. He has a long-time grudge against Nick Rekieta, and so you can't classify him as just a concerned citizen. He has a long-time grudge against Rekieta. And this is how he presented it to the judge in his filings. Concerned citizen, Aaron Emholt. He cited a CPS report that had already been debunked by CPS themselves. And the video that he based his warrant on was based on COG's channel, which was heavily edited, had COG's logo on it. It wasn't the original source, but he portrayed to the judge that he had watched Nick Rekieta's original stream, which he had not. So there are three bad apples in his application for a search warrant, three separate ones. So one is the faulty CPS report that was already thrown out. Two is that he based Aaron Emholt as a concerned citizen when he's a blood enemy, right? And they can't even show which day Emholt showed this stream, by the way. They couldn't even cite it in court. The prosecutor was totally befuddled. And three, he represented to the judge that he watched Nick Rekieta's original stream, which he did not, and he admitted later on. So the lawyer for Rekieta speculated that perhaps the judge wouldn't have signed in 4 minutes, by the way, the judge signed the warrant. Perhaps the judge would, the judge has an expectation that the law enforcement are going to tell them the truth. Perhaps this judge wouldn't have signed this warrant in 4 fucking minutes if she had had that information. So that's the basis of the challenge to the search warrant. COG added elements. Rekieta's lawyer said he believes the warrant wouldn't have been signed had the judge known all this. April's statement on body cam, they said they will not use body cam footage unless April testifies, is what was said. And so they wouldn't use body cam footage whatsoever, but unless she testifies, it's looking like the body cam footage might be DOA, but we'll see if some of it gets out. But I have no inside knowledge, by the way, but I wouldn't expect her to testify in the first place. Prosecutor, I audibly chuckle as he says, steel toe, morning toe. And then I caught myself because he said steel toe, morning toe. And I started laughing because I thought that was amusing. Prosecutor says she can't authenticate steel toe radio evidence. Shows there was animosity between the two parties, not a concerned citizen. She can't even authenticate what day, what program, what was said. Prosecutor won't respond in court to what Rekieta's lawyer said and asked until August 30th for a written response, and then Rekieta's lawyer asked for a rebuttal, basically, for 5 more days, and the judge says, well, typically, this is your motion right here, but since I'm giving her till July 30th to write a written response, when really she should have to respond right here, I'll give you 5 extra days to give another written response. And I believe September 6th is the deadline. September 5th or 6th is the deadline for further motions. But that's all that happened today, actually. And so that was my on-the-spot reporting. Prosecution seems kind of lost. The warrant, whether they throw it out or not, is looking dodgy as fuck. And so that was my on-the-scene coverage, and you guys can take it or leave it. But, 3 separate legs of the warrant is based on bullshit. The lawyer said he saw the original copy of Rekieta's stream. He didn't. He acted like M. Holt was a concerned citizen instead of an involved party, of an involved hater. He didn't tell the judge that at all. And he threw in a CPS report from the pastor that had already been debunked by CPS, and they refused to follow up on it because they said it was bullshit. So 3 different prongs of his application for the search warrant were bullshit. So we'll see, what ends up happening, but that's what I learned today in court. And, it was a little ho-hum affair. Maybe worth coming out, maybe worth not, but I figured that I would, just because those faggots were, and I have some footage of them running away like the cowards they are that I'll post as well. But that's my update. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go eat, have a little fun. I'll be back in Mexico. We'll figure out the stuff with Dick Masters, and he's supposed to be on tomorrow, but I'll figure that out tomorrow.
Brianna Wu Hyper Bimbo sent $3 on Rumble. All this for a 10-minute hearing? Get your ass to Chicago, DNC.
I don't know if that's possible, actually. But we'll see. But that's my court report. That's everything that happened. I wanted to go ahead and get it out here quick. And I'll upload it on Twitter as well. But shout out to the Rekietas, wishing them the best. And it looks like the warrant may be in danger. Now, whether they throw it out or not, it looks like it's in danger. They said nothing about any hearings, broadcasting any hearings. No pretrial hearings going to be broadcast. And I don't think the court actually will be, the actual trial, if it goes to trial, will be broadcast either. Hit like. Thank you for chipping in a little bit this morning. I know I did do a lot. I traveled to fucking Minnesota, but, I wanted to give you an unbiased, straight take, rather than whatever trash you're going to read on Kiwi Farms. Rekieta and Lady Rackets both look great. No, they're going to call them junkies and all this bullshit. They didn't. They look perfectly fine, perfectly upstanding, and I wish them the best. And I wish you guys the best, and I'll be back soon, and we'll see. I might try to do something tonight. We'll see. But I got to get off here now because I got to locate a couple people, but salute.